team that has a chance to win a championship. I tell people I'm very lucky, right? To be able to get paid and play for a team that's a contender. But I knew in the back of my mind, like, those things came with a great responsibility. You know what I mean? I think everything. I think the narrative would be different if we wasn't in this position, and I didn't play as well as I did, and our secondary didn't play as well as they did. It's important for me to just be grateful for the things that do come my way. But I'm just trying to continue to work hard, man, knowing that that's what we're expected. That's what people expect the most, is for you to show up the day after you get paid, the day after you win a championship. And so I think that right now that's my focus, to continue to get better, continue to get the guys around me better. I mean, I think, obviously, I think my journey kind of built me up to, have some grit, be strong enough to face challenges and, try to overcome obstacles. I think I had a lot of good people come into my life. They really believed in me, supported me. And I think people underestimate that, right? They underestimate good people and, the kind of impact they can have on your life. And so I'm grateful that, for the people that came into my life. Yeah, I mean, we appreciate the challenge. It's been a lot of talk. It's going to be a lot of talk about, what we're capable of doing and, how good the other side defense is. I think we understand the challenge, though. I think me personally, I understand, Kyle Shanahan and how creative he is and how we can't underestimate that, right? But I think this run game is just so dynamic. They move so many pieces around. And I think the biggest thing is people underestimate the 49ers offensive line. Like, those guys are athletic. Like, they can get out. They're big. They're maulers. Like, they can play that game. So it's going to be important for us to kind of have an attitude, you know what I mean? Like, have an attitude when we show up Sunday and, understand that, they like to run the football. They have fun doing that. Well, I think ultimately anytime you play in a big-time football game, any meaningful football games, right, I think those big boys up front, they realize that, every play matters, right? Every play counts, and those guys are trying to play as hard as they can. So, it's like the old ball coaches say, man, the game going to be won in the trenches. And I think offensive lines, defensive lines, they begin to take it personal, right? They begin to get nastier and edgier, and little guys like me got to watch out. I mean, that's extremely impressive. To have those two titles. Obviously I couldn't fathom, working towards a doctorate degree and playing football. I feel like both of those things are a great responsibility. It requires, a great deal of patience, right? And obviously a great deal of studying. So, really hats off to him, man, for being able to accomplish those things. Not many people in the NFL, is a doctor and a football player. I'm very happy that he's my teammate. Like, I need other guys with me to play well, and I think that's the responsibility I have, and I think that's just the mission I've been on since. I try to get Justin Reed to play better last year. I felt like he did. I tried to lift that secondary last year. I felt like I did, and even this year, that's why I came here, to kind of take on that challenge of, being a leader, right? Like, accepting that responsibility, not hiding under guys like Patrick Peterson or J.J. Watt, like embracing it. And I feel like that's what I've been trying to do.
How did you develop the way you see the game, like the way that you hold your sticks for?
I tell people it's really an underrated thing, right? Like, to have a good coach growing up. I feel like I had a great coach in high school, man, and he taught me football, like 101. And I think those things have kind of helped me be comfortable playing anywhere on the football field. I understand leverage, I understand situations, and I'm just like field aware. And so I credit a lot of that to my coach growing up, right? Because a lot of those things are second nature now. Like, I don't really think about it. I just know when to get outside, when to get inside. I know when to snap blitz. So I feel like I've been trained the right way, and I got to credit a lot of that to my coaches, that I've had. I have so much fun out there. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is, second nature, man. In a sense that, I try to strain myself in practice, and I've had some good coaches in my life, and so a lot of this stuff I've seen before in my sleep, right? Maybe I've seen them in a game, maybe I've seen them when I daydream. I just see certain plays all day, and I feel it.
Do guys get a kick out of that when you put your head?
Yeah, I think it's infectious, right? Like Dan Sorensen does it. I think people love it. Like they love to feel like, hey man, wow, I made that play. Like, yo, actually, I am kind of smart. Yeah. Man, Sam is, first of all, he's top of the line, man. So professional and respectable. He's approachable as well, man. I think Sam could kind of come in the room and, make the room feel comfortable. Sam was one of those players, man. He was feisty. He'd get up in your face. He loved to play press man coverage. He was a big time football player back in his day. And I think he tries to bring the same thing to coaching, man. I think about the impact he's had, really on Breland and Ward, right? Those guys were playing really good football as cornerbacks, playing bump and run coverage, man-to-man coverage, really week in and week out. I think a lot of that credit has to go to Sam, right, and what he's been able to do with those guys week in and week out. And I think those guys have committed to the things that Sam has been teaching. And Sam is such a good guy, man. I think he's a guy we could trust, and I think as players, you want to play for people like that. Yeah, man. Obviously, we all go through, our fair share of struggles and hard times. But, I've seen Sam be the same person each and every day, man. The man always has a smile on his face. I think he's so blessed and grateful to be here. And I think he wants us to appreciate the moment, right? He told us a story, about him, having to wait 11, 12 years, right, before he can even play in a Super Bowl. And so just appreciate the moment, enjoy the moment, but, never forget what got you here. And that's family, that's hard work, things like that. Thank you.
I'm assuming that you're going to be doing a speech of some sort.
Yeah.
How much time do you put into preparing what you want to say, or is it spur of the moment? Like, how do you approach the biggest game of your life?
It's
To say the right thing.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was talking to Anthony Hitchens yesterday, right? And, we're going to get together later in the week, and, we're going to go through like this 50-play, series, that was 50-play game, and we're going to just, name. Kind of said, I think I should give the speech, after we watch the film of the Niners, and he was like, yeah. So I've been thinking about this since Tuesday, so I got about 3 days, so I'll get it right. This is going to be Friday. Yep. Yeah. We good?